Welcome back to my spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the latest dramatic developments in the world of the bold and the beautiful that have fans on the edge of their seats. Emotional turmoil at the hospital. The medical wing of Los Angeles's most prestigious hospital has become the epicenter of heart-wrenching drama as Steffy Forrester finds herself consumed by overwhelming anxiety regarding her former spouse, Liam Spencer. What began as a routine visit has escalated into a life-threatening emergency when Liam's vital signs suddenly plummeted, resulting in cardiac arrest right before Steffy's horrified eyes. As medical personnel frantically worked to stabilize him, Dr. Grace Buckingham made the difficult decision to remove Steffy from the room, forcing her to retreat to the sterile waiting area where she could do nothing but offer desperate prayers for divine intervention. The weight of potentially losing someone who remains deeply connected to her life, not just as her ex-husband but as the father of her beloved daughter Kelly, has left Steffy emotionally shattered. The ripple effects of this medical crisis have already begun spreading throughout their interconnected social circles. With trembling hands, Steffy reached out to her current husband, Dr. John Finnegan, sharing the devastating news. This placed Finn in the heartbreaking position of having to explain to young Kelly why her anticipated day with her father would not proceed as planned, a conversation no parent ever wishes to have. We can expect Bill Spencer, Liam's protective father, and Hope Logan, who shares complex history with both Liam and Steffy, to rush to the hospital upon receiving word of the emergency. The question lingering in everyone's mind: if Liam manages to survive this ordeal, could this brush with mortality rekindle dormant emotions between him and Steffy, potentially threatening multiple relationships? Unexpected confrontation. In an entirely different part of town, an alarming altercation has erupted between two unlikely combatants. The typically composed Carter Walton and the rough-around-the-edges Deacon Sharp have abandoned their usual decorum, engaging in a physical confrontation that has escalated to dangerous levels. The volatile situation was interrupted by Daphne Rose, who, upon hearing the commotion from outside the design office, made the split-second decision to intervene. Photographic evidence captures the tense moment as she courageously positioned herself between the two enraged men, risking her own safety to prevent further violence. What could possibly have driven these two men, one a respected executive and the other working to rebuild his reputation, to resort to such primitive behavior? The underlying cause of this explosive confrontation remains shrouded in mystery, but whatever sparked this powder keg must involve deeply personal stakes for both parties. Embarrassing encounter. In a scene dripping with awkwardness and indignation, Taylor Hayes experienced a moment of profound disgust upon opening the door to the CEO office, only to discover Brooke Logan in a state of significant undress. Clad only in purple lingerie, Brooke was clearly anticipating a romantic rendezvous with Ridge Forrester rather than a confrontation with his ex-wife. The mortifying moment forced Brooke to scramble for cover while Taylor seized the opportunity to verbally eviscerate her longtime rival. This uncomfortable encounter represents just the latest chapter in their decades-long competition for Ridge's affections, proving that even as years pass, some rivalries never truly cool. The incident raises questions about Brooke's judgment in using the corporate headquarters for such intimate purposes, as well as what Taylor's true purpose was in visiting the CEO office unannounced. Was this merely an unfortunate coincidence, or could Taylor have suspected something and timed her arrival accordingly? Obsessive behavior. Meanwhile, Luna Nozawa continues to exhibit concerning fixation on Will Spencer, venting her frustrations to her grandmother, Sheila Carter, a woman whose own history of obsessive behavior makes her a questionable source of relationship advice. Luna's complaints center around her perceived rival, Electra Forrester, whom she dismisses as too refined and proper for Will's needs. In Luna's distorted perspective, she represents the real woman that Will truly requires, despite clear indications that he has chosen Electra. This unhealthy preoccupation raises red flags about Luna's emotional stability and potential future actions. With Sheila's influence potentially encouraging rather than tempering these fixations, the situation could evolve from mere jealousy to something far more troubling. Will Sheila validate her granddaughter's unhealthy obsession, or will she surprisingly become the voice of reason? Family notifications. As Liam's medical crisis continues, the responsibility of informing loved ones falls heavily on Steffi's shoulders. Beyond notifying Finn, she must ensure that Bill Spencer, a father who would move mountains for his sons, is made aware of the emergency. Similarly, Hope Logan, whose complicated history with Liam includes marriage and co-parenting, must be informed of these critical developments. The convergence of these individuals at the hospital, each carrying their own emotional baggage and shared history with Liam, creates a powder keg of tension during an already stressful situation. Most heartbreaking is young Kelly's position in all this chaos. Too young to fully comprehend the gravity of her father's condition, yet old enough to sense the disruption to her expected time with him. She represents the innocent casualties of adult drama that defines this show's most poignant moments. As viewers, we're left wondering whether Liam will survive this medical emergency, and if so, how this brush with mortality might reshape the complex relationships surrounding him. Will near-death clarity lead to rekindled feelings or reaffirmed boundaries? Only time will tell as this dramatic storyline unfolds in the coming episodes.